Hello. Today we're in the garden and I'm going to be reading from The Girl Who Helped Thunder and Other Native American Folk Tales. The first section is the tribes of the Northeast. The northeastern area of the American continent stretches from the Great Lakes all the way to the Atlantic Ocean, and from the southern woodlands of eastern Canada south into the northern Appalachian Mountains. In this area, there are two major cultural groups historically. The first are the Iroquois people, including the Huron and the five Iroquois tribes, the nations known as the Mohawk, the Oneida, the Onondaga, the Cayuga, and the Seneca. Iroquois are known as people of the Longhouse because of their distinctive dwellings. They built long, multiple family houses that they covered with elm bark, and they relied equally on corn, beans, and squash, which they referred to as the Three Sisters, which were grown by women, and by hunting animals, especially deer, which was mostly performed by the men. Iroquois villages remained in one area for several years, and they only really moved when the ground became less fertile for farming or the deer herds thinned out. Now, the second group is made up of the Algonquin people. Now, they include the Wampanoag of Massachusetts on the coast and the Lenape, or the Delaware, of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Like the Iroquois, the men hunted and the women took care of the fields, but their villages tended to be much smaller. Often they consisted of only a few families. And unlike the settled villages of the Iroquois, Algonquin villages generally moved seasonally, according to the time of the year, taking advantage of seasonal resources like fish running in the streams in the fall, or along the coast, ripe berries that could be picked in upland areas, and migrating animals like the caribou. The traditional stories of both of those cultural groups, the northeastern part of the American continent, are like those of virtually all other First Peoples, and they serve two major purposes: to entertain and to teach important lessons. Now, as we listen to the stories in this section, they're going to point out the importance of such useful community traits as listening, showing respect, and taking personal responsibility.